The Quran is also called Al-Furqan. What does it mean? A. Guidance. B. Light. C. Criterion. Furqan means criterion or discovery by Allah. Yeah. What teaches us self-control? A. Salat. B. Zakat. Or C. Fasting. No.
It's small one, small one.
Faisal? No. Okay, finally got one. Fasting has been prescribed for us so that we may guard ourselves against evil and may have control over our baser souls. To which people did God send a she-camel as a sign? A. The people of Ad. B. The people of Thamud. Or C. The children of Israel. To which people did God send as a she-camel as a sign? A. The people of Ad. B. The people of Thamud. Or C. The children of Israel. Yeah, correct. From Surah Al-Hud, the people of God sent Saleh to the people of Thamud. He called them to accept the law of God, but they disobeyed him. God sent a she-camel as a sign for them, but their hands strong no soul. Camels stayed at the entrance of the cave while the Ashab al-Kahf were put to sleep by God. A. Dog. B. Donkey. Or C. Lion. Dog. Correct. From Surah Al-Kahf. The Quran says about Ashab al-Kahf, or the people of the cave, and their dog, that when they lay asleep, God turned them over to right and left, while their dog lay at the cave's entrance with legs outstretched. Thank you for listening.
Today I will talk about how Ibrahim asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a question. This question wasn't asked because Ibrahim had no faith. It was asked because he wanted to increase his faith and his worship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many people use this incident of when Ibrahim asked the question as if he was questioning his faith. But if you were to study and understand exactly why he asked this question, then you would know that he had utmost belief in Allah. How can you doubt Ibrahim when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has clearly stated in his books? إِذَا جَاءَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ, which translates to when he came to his Lord with a salim heart. Salim heart can be translated into a person who is clean from sins and is good-hearted. Another example is when in Surah 60, Ayah 4, it says, there has been a good example, Uswatun Hasana, set for you by Ibrahim alayhi salam and those with him, telling us that he was one of the best prophets. Now you all must be wondering what the question he asked was. It was, "O Allah, let me witness how resurrection takes place." Allah then replies and says, "O Ibrahim, do you not believe that Allah will resurrect the dead? Do you have any doubts?" Ibrahim then replies by saying, "O Lord, I definitely believe that you will resurrect the dead, and I have no doubts about it. However, I want to see this extraordinary event and to satisfy my own understanding." The story. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Ibrahim, take 4 birds, tie them, cut them into pieces, and then put a portion of them on every hill, and call them. They will come to thee, flying with speed. Ibrahim a.s. fulfilled this order. First he found the birds and tamed them. Then he slaughtered them, he plucked their feathers and divided each of them into 4 parts. He mixed those parts and put their heads next to their parts. Then he put them on the top of 4 different hills. When he called them by their names, he saw that they came to him alive by flying. Questions. Is there any prophet which is also called Uswatun Hasana, meaning good example? Does anyone know which prophet it is?
Prophet Muhammad.
Correct.
Chocolate?
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it is stated in the Surah 3, ayah 21. Next one.
Next question.
What does Qalbun Salim mean?
Having a good heart.
Yeah, because Qalbun Salim is a heart that's pure. What was the order given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Ibrahim alayhi salam? Amir.
Allah wanted Ibrahim alayhi salam to tie up the 3 birds. Tie the 4 birds, then slaughter them and put each portion of the door. And then call them by the name.
Kind of, yeah. The answer is take 4 birds, tie them, then put a portion of them on every hill and call them, they will come to the flying speed. Jazakallah khair, thank you for listening to us.
Now let me ask you a very important question. If someone asked you to prove the existence of God, how would you do it? What do you think?
By showing the nature, like what Allah made.
Okay. What about you, sister?
Probably depends on the person you're speaking to. Like some people, if you just show them nature or creations around, they will be quickly touched. But maybe for somebody else, you may need to take a different approach. Like asking them to read the Quran or so on.
Nice. Okay, what about you, sir? You look quite knowledgeable.
Me?
Knowledgeable?
Look the nature, look the sunset, sunrise, you can find out the God.
There's a brother at the back, blue t-shirt.
He also looks knowledgeable.
That's his dad.
I know.
Her dad. Say that again.
Allah has described himself in 2 ways. He has said what I am is what is in the Holy Quran, and by the signs that you see around from my creations, you can see me. Oh, that is me. That's what Allah.
Understand the idea of cause and effect, which is key to understanding Allah's existence. Imagine a train with 3 carriages. The last carriage is pulled by the one before it, which is pulled by the one before it. But forgetting how the first train actually works, how would you move the first carriage?
By asking Allah.
Yes.
What is it?
This is very much like the existence of God, in which Allah causes events to happen, which triggers other events, and so on. Now let's start off with a small example. The growth of plants. We see it every single day and even outside here. Now, it's a miracle that requires 3 important things, apart from the seed. Anyone know what it is?
Allah.
Something that's physical?
Too much water.
Water,
And not enough sunlight.
sun, and
And getting stuff from.
soil, really. But when you think about it, what makes these plants grow in the first place? What controls every single part of their life? From the fact that they grow to a certain height, to the fact that they bear flowers and eventually bear fruit. Okay, that's one example done. Let's move on to something bigger, like the creation of the universe. We all know that the universe eventually first started with the Big Bang. But when you think about it, the Big Bang led to a perfect formation of different celestial bodies, such as stars, planets, and moons, or satellites. And the Earth itself is perfect for being able to sustain life like you and I. Once again, who made the universe so perfect and controls how planets orbit stars like the sun? Now, last example is the most precious, the idea of life and death. Now, I'm going to take this on a different angle to explain it, because cause and effect isn't going to prove much in this example. Every single minute, new life is created, and this miracle occurs every single day. But think about it. All life is made naturally. None of it is made artificially. We humans have been able to understand and create so many things, but yet we still aren't able to create life by ourselves. Okay, so what about the other end of this? The other end of the spectrum, death. Sure, we can kill animals and plants and human beings even. But once again, think about it. There are so many stories about the idea of immortality and revival from the dead. But even with all the technology we have with us today, we still can't even make it happen. So, indeed, science can explain some phenomena, but only to a certain extent. There has to be a being controlling all phenomena. So when I ask you who caused this all to happen, you will say, Allah. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for listening to my speech.